Hi everyone, welcome back to Average Fitness tips for the average person. Today's video is a post-workout stretch. Myself, I've just got back from a run, probably the first time I've been for a run in, I would guess, over a year. So very important to stretch when you finish the workout, especially if it's a workout that you're not really used to doing, or your body's not used to doing on a regular basis. So I've made sure I've been drinking plenty of water during my workout. I'm going to continue to do that during the stretch and afterwards. But we're going to spend about 10 minutes now just cooling our body down, stretch our muscles back out, and making sure that we're not too sore tomorrow, so that we're not too discouraged for our next workout. While I've been running, over the years I've noticed that my shoulders are kind of up a height and I kind of stay quite rigid. Not everybody does that, but because I do that, I like to stretch my shoulders and those kind of muscles in the upper back when I get back from a run, because I don't want to be in pain the next day. So we're going to start with a shoulder stretch. So bring your arm over your chest and then hug it in close to you, and you should feel that stretch down the outside of the shoulder. We're going to hold for a good few seconds on each stretch because the muscles are very warm, which means we can stretch them without worrying that we're going to stretch too far. And we're going to stretch them out so that they get to a resting state nice and slowly. Couple more seconds here, and opposite arm. I really dislike running. I'm not sure what motivated me to go for a run today. It's the first time I've kind of been out of the house to exercise in a long time. During the summer, my partner and I used to go down to the beach early in the morning, to watch the sunrise sometimes and do a few exercises there. But obviously, with it being winter at the moment, we haven't really done that, so maybe that had something to do with it. Next stretch, we're going to stretch our obliques and our core. So feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart, maybe slightly wider again. Arms nice and wide, and then we're stretching over to the side. Make sure not to lean forward. You're stretching directly to the side. You should feel that stretch. Up your side. A few seconds here. And back up to the top. And out. Few more seconds here, and back to the top. Okay, now we're going to move on to the legs. Stretch out our hamstrings. Feet much wider than shoulder width apart. Keep your legs straight, put your knees off lock. Bend at the hips, come all the way down as far as you can, and stay there for a few seconds. Good few seconds here. Keep your knees off lock, but keep your legs nice and straight. And then we're going to move over to the side nice and slowly. Take our time here. And then over to the other side. Slowly back to the middle. And then we'll push a tiny bit further. Should be able to sink a little deeper into the stretch. For a few more seconds, and then back up. Bring your feet in very slightly, bend your knees and come down into a wide squat position. Rest your elbows or your forearms on the inside of your knees and try and press those legs out a tiny bit to feel that stretch just inside your thigh. A few more seconds here, and then we'll just bring your right hand up to your knee, straighten your arm and push yourself out to the left. Couple of seconds. Slowly back to the center, and then the opposite side. Slowly back to the center. Sink a little deeper if you can. And nice and slowly straighten your legs back out and back up to the top, nice and slowly. Step it out a little bit, and then you're going to grab your foot, bring your knees together, and squeeze to stretch out your quads. Really squeeze, a few more seconds. If you like, you can put a very slight bend in your standing leg and sink a tiny bit deeper, to stretch a little bit further, and then stretch it out. Opposite leg, same again, find a balance, nice and easy. few more seconds. Slight bend in the knee. And shake it off. Alright, next, I mentioned in a previous video that when you're going to be running, one of the muscles that's quite often overlooked for stretching is the hip flexor. Very, very, very important to stretch that muscle because that's the one that's going to give you grief the next day and the day after if you don't stretch it out. So it's basically the muscle that connects your upper and lower body together. And what you need to do to stretch that is take a huge step forward, take your back leg back, but keep it straight, bend the front knee so that your knee and your ankle are in line. Use that knee for balance, but keep your back leg straight. That's the absolutely most important part of the stretch. Back knees bent, the stretch will not work. And we're really going to hold this for a while here because, like I say, it's arguably the most important stretch for your legs when you've been out running, especially if, like me, you don't go running a lot. And then you're going to bring one hand, your outside hand down to the floor. Keep that back leg straight. All your focus needs to be on keeping your back leg straight. And bring your other hand down to the other side if you can. Sink a little bit deeper. Couple more seconds. And nice and slowly reverse that order. Back up to the top. Bring your foot in. Step it out a little bit. And swap legs. Huge step back. Heel comes off the floor. Front knee stays over your ankle and your back leg, is absolutely straight as an arrow. A few more seconds here. One hand down at the floor. Keep your back leg straight. I've said it about 11 times, that's how important it is. Outside hand down at the floor as well. A few more seconds. Oops. And slowly reverse the order. And back to the top nice and slowly. Oh dear. Step it out a few times. And now we're going to stretch our calves. So in the warm-up, the way we stretched our calves was to come up onto our toes and then onto our heels, rocking back and forwards. We're going to do that a few more times as well. And then we're actually going to use the wall for support. And you're going to take a big step back. So your back leg, your heel is going to be flat on the floor. You're going to step forward with your front leg, bend the front knee, but keep the back leg absolutely straight, much like the hip flexor stretch. Drive your back heel into the floor for a few seconds. And then we're going to switch legs. Drive that heel into the floor. A few more seconds. And then step it out. So the way we're going to step it out is put your both feet back and then just swap legs, pressing one heel down, raising the other for a few seconds, and then back up and shake it off. Okay, last stretch before we're going to move down to the floor. A few more stretches actually on the floor. The first one we're going to do is a little bit awkward, so you're going to sit down with your right butt cheek on the floor and your left kind of raised up, bend your knee and place your shin on your foot. So bend that front leg so that the sole of your foot is pointing away from you. Bring your foot round and sort of lie your shin on that upraised sole. So you're kind of balanced on one butt cheek. From there you're going to stretch out to the side. You don't need to stretch far for this stretch to work. It's actually stretching the lower back as well as your obliques as well. You don't want to be bending forward. You don't want to be pushing too forward. It doesn't need to be you don't need to be super flexible to get a lot from the stretch. One of my favourites actually, because it's a part of the body that you don't normally get to stretch. A couple more seconds, and then relax, and you're going to switch. So left butt cheek down, sole of your foot pointing away from you, place your shin on top, and kind of get balanced. Stretch over to the side, and give it a few seconds. And back to the centre. Alright, now we're going to sit cross-legged, just about. Just kidding, we're actually going to place our soles of our feet together. Your toes pointing directly forward, try and stay as upright as you can. Bring your feet in as far as is comfortable. Place your elbows and your forearms on the inside of your knees and press your your knees down towards the floor. Some people are much more flexible than others in this way. It's actually quite scary to see someone who's very, very flexible to do this stretch. A few seconds here. Alright, relax. Walk your feet out a little bit. Next we're going to stretch our calves again. I'm going to just move around to the side so you can see properly here. One knee bent, one leg out as far as you can. Place the heel down on the floor and your toes directly up towards the sky. If you can, stretch forward, grab your toes over the top of your foot. Keep that leg straight and you should feel the stretch in here. If you can't go that far, simply stretch as far as you can down the shin, or if need be just to the knee, whichever is most comfortable for you. Give it a few seconds here. We'll switch legs and then we have one more stretch after this and then we're done. Don't forget to stay hydrated. I know I've mentioned that a couple of times already, but it is very important. Okay, switch legs. Heel flat on the floor, toes towards the sky. If you can, grab your foot. If not, stay a bit more upright. So this stretches the calf in that straight leg, in the front leg, but also depending on how tight your hamstrings are, you might feel it in your hamstring as well. I certainly do because I have very, very tight hamstrings. That's perfectly normal. There's no bad part to feel the stretch as long as it's a stretch as opposed to an injury type pain, and you'll hopefully know the difference. A couple more seconds and relax. Okay, last stretch is a bit of an awkward one, so you're going to make sure you've got space to lie back. Place your feet flat on the floor. You're going to keep one knee where it is there, bring your other foot up, lie your leg across your knee so your sole of your foot is pointing away. You're then going to reach through the gap between your legs, bring your knee up, wrap both hands around and pull your knee in towards your head. This basically stretches the glutes and the hamstring on that bent leg, this leg just here. A few more seconds here. I call this one the pretzel stretch because it makes your legs look a bit like a pretzel. Give it a couple more seconds and switch legs. So place your foot on top of your knee, your ankle on top of your knee, reach through the gap, wrap the hands around and pull. Again, you don't need to pull very far to feel a good stretch here. And relax. Alright, there we have it. Quick 5, 6, 7 minute stretch following a workout. Like I say, I've been running, so this is a great stretch for after running, but could be used for any cardio based or leg based workout. Keep checking the channel for more hints and tips on, based on my fitness journey and what I've found. Remember, this is a channel for the average person. If you're looking to go into sports in a semi-pro or professional capacity, you will not gain much from this channel. This channel is for the average person only, looking to improve their general fitness and lead a healthier lifestyle. Until next time, take it easy.